And hello, welcome back to mission briefing number nine slash episode number nine of the original series of Star Trek. This episode is Miri, where myself, Captain Gretchen, and my first officer, Mr. Gilbert, dutifully give you the mission response or the mission report to each episode as they appear, as they were released. And today is Miri. And just as we talked about before in pre show, I throw this out there for all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between. There is a little bit of a controversial issue in this episode that we need to talk about. So,
Just a
trigger warning
little
if
bit of a
needed,
trigger warning.
not
Just
serious, but enough of one that it's there. It's there. How the heck are you, Gilbert? I know that I can say that, but I've talked to you like three times today and yesterday, and I know you're well and whatever. But no, for show's sake, how are you?
for show's sake, I am doing fantastic. I'm doing well. This is
I've got my
such a
iced
great
tea.
day. I know you got your tea. You're ready to go. I got my water. I am ready to go. We have watched Miri.
Miri.
Miri is something. It is something.
And this is a double episode weekend for all of you just tuning in today. I know that we have some dutiful followers, some people who watch or listen once in a while, but we missed a week because of my battle with a space IV monster, and we're doing two episodes to catch up. So this is episode nine. We're only one episode away, Gilbert, from episode
Yeah.
10. 10
So this
episodes.
is it's a milestone.
It's a milestone. We're
Paramount
almost there.
Plus. Paramount
Paramount
Plus.
Plus.
Pay us.
Paramount Plus. Just
Pay
you don't
us.
have to
We
pay us. Just give us
so we just
commercial free. Just give us
commercial
commercial
free.
free.
Commercial free, yes.
I'm not even greedy. I'm not even greedy. I just want to watch as many episodes as I can to promote your platform. Because that's exactly what I mean. I'm not
Yeah.
greedy at all. Never. I'm never greedy.
I
Nope.
know. And it would be nice to be able to do it commercial free. So
It would
that way
be.
it's more efficient for us, to watch as many episodes as possible so that we can relay all of this wealth of knowledge and everything to the public, to the people.
Wealth of
So Paramount
enthusiasm.
Plus.
If nothing else, wealth of enthusiasm.
Exactly. So let us jump right into this episode. So we open up and
It's Earth
as
or a copy of it.
the
It
yeah, as the
looks like Earth, same
it,
mass, circumference, density, atmosphere, even the
whole
same
nine.
topographical layout.
Yeah.
Like, look, there's
So
New
this
York.
all of a sudden just randomly just floating all about in space, and then boom, hey, we got
Yeah,
Earth, and we get a
look,
signal from there, and then somebody's
if
calling
you
them, and it's
if you
like,
zoom
what?
in, there's the Bronx, which is where exactly Trump did not have a rally the other day,
No,
or at least
and it was about it.
not the one that he shared a picture of anyway.
Said no, it's about the same attendance as a rally too.
Right, right, yeah, but yeah, we're perfect Earth,
So
perfect
yes,
Earth. I don't think this is the first time that we've done this and showed up or will show up at a perfect Earth, but here we are, a copy. And tell us what's going on. What's
yeah.
going on with the people? What's going on with the people of this second Earth, Gilbert? What's going on?
See,
There's
yeah,
some weird
that's the
stuff going
thing.
on.
There's some weird stuff. We don't know exactly what's happening. When Kirk and Spock and Bones and who was it, Yeoman Rand and one
Of course.
random and the couple red shirts that popped down there with them. All of a
Yo
sudden,
Yeoman randomly assaulted in every episode.
just if Yeoman Rand's in it, you know something's happening to her. If she talks, something happened to her. The only
Oh,
time
poor woman. That poor woman.
she just catches it from everywhere, just strays from everywhere. And so we open up and we get a signal pop down, and then all of a sudden, some thing, guy, weird person, we don't know what it is, just all of a sudden just runs at him and just starts attacking.
Right.
And
This
you
this
just hear
insanely
them
violent man.
just
Like
for no reason just
what's he
starts,
yelling? Like fibber, fibber, fibber. Like,
no, it's like, fix it, fix it, fix it.
I'll fix it. Okay.
Yeah, it's talking about uh something that was broken, and
It was a
nobody knew
tricycle or
what it
something.
was.
It was a tricycle or something that they were looking at.
Yeah, and
Little bicycle for a kid or something,
bicycle or
Right.
big wheel or whatever it is, and all of a sudden, this random ass thing comes out and says, "Fix it, fix it, fix it," and attacks, and then he just collapses. Bones does his, and then it's like, oh, he like aged in 50 years in just a few seconds,
He's dead, Jim.
and then
He's dead,
bum
Jim.
bum bum, opening credits, and then we move on, and now we're finding out a little bit more because
A
now we
little bit,
see it, we see, of course, that we know they're not alone, obviously. So they're
right.
kind of wandering around.
Kind of drawn into a
No,
building because of some like noises they heard and what
they hear
have you. And
noises and
we find the upcoming problematic person of this episode um hiding in a
and
closet.
then and then we see Miri.
Then we see Miri.
We see Miri. Oh, young Miri. And then we see Miri. She's, for the sake of this episode, we're gonna say she's around 12, maybe 13
Yeah, I mean,
ish.
even if you were being generous, not even past barely
Uh,
15, not
yeah,
above.
not
And
so.
Kirk
Let's
is
let's just be nice and let's make it a little bit, but not better. 15.
yeah, let's say she's 15, but Kirk is still at the very least 32 years old.
Exactly. And
At
so
the
we
very
find
least.
out at the very least he's in his 30s. So then we find Miri, and then like she's all dirty, clothes tattered, worn, everything like that. And so, of course, we figure that's a natural because given the state of everything that we see around, everything's dirty. Buildings are all torn apart. You know, foliage everywhere. Things being overgrown. Vines
Once
and ivy
Kirk
monsters have taken over.
right. And once Kirk realizes that, oh, this cute young woman, okay, let me
Says she may
rephrase
know.
this.
Said this
This young child
may know something, and
is
so
terrified of
let's
something called gruts,
yeah.
called
And it's
grups.
like,
And
what are grups? What
what are
are they? What
grups?
is it? You know,
What are grups? What is a
and
grup? To grup or not to grup? That is the question.
I grew up with the question myself. So we
Uh,
find
I'm
out a little
I'm
bit
fifth.
something about what the grup is, and then all of a sudden she says, look at your hand." And then you see a weird spot that pops up where it's a blue discolored spot. Have no idea what's happening, and you think, "Oh, they're in some kind of War of the Worlds airborne virus
And
mutagen
hey,
something." We
without
don't know
ever
what it
met
is, but
without mentioning names, if we ever get to speak to anyone who may or may not have been involved in the special effects productions of these
George
shows,
helps out.
I,
George.
I'm pretty sure that those sores on the hands were made out of super glue and or Elmer's glue and food coloring.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm pretty sure I
Because,
did. I'm pretty sure I did that in elementary school.
well, yeah, I think we all did.
But
If
what
you're
we're
Gen X,
learning,
if you're Gen
right?
Xer, you did that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But what we're learning though is that essentially to set the stage of the episode is that on this planet, over a
There's a
certain age,
mystery. There's a
over a
mystery
certain
going
age,
on, and then we find out over
people
a certain
age very
age,
quickly. They get sick, but the kids are okay.
yeah, the
The
kids
kids
are
are
all
okay.
right.
The kids are all right
The kids are all right. And so then
until
it's
they get older. Until they get older.
yes. And then it's Spock kind of with Bones kind of bouncing around ideas as to what could be going on. And then finding like little scraplets of experiments and uh things of that nature that the people have done, because we find out then that there was some kind of other disease that they were trying to, I guess, essentially find a cure for and like do
Right.
some kind of life extension of them. And so throughout the course of their trying to find antidote for it, they messed up. Oh,
And
just
and
a
it's and
slight
it's
bit.
important. It's important to note too that while everyone else is sort of succumbing, the landing party is succumbing to this disease. Of course, Spock is not because his blood is
Of course.
copper based, whereas
Right. And so,
ours is not. So
yeah, so
Spock's
essentially,
cool.
so Spock is Spock is Spock. He's never gonna not be Spock. And so we find out, going a little bit further and delving deeper, that oh, it comes at a point when they hit puberty, and then all of a sudden that the body just rapidly ages, just accelerated ages, and then the skin just goes all discolored and
Modeled
flaky and just
and
all molded, and
weird. And
yeah,
I
and then
think when McCoy gets some equipment beamed down to him and does some tests, he's realizing they've been studying this for hundreds of years,
yeah, and they
trying
realize
to
that the kids are
come up with
at
some
least 300.
come up with some super soldier serum, like how can we
Yeah,
make everyone immortal? Have
yeah,
we not
essentially,
learned
yes.
anything yet that super serums and super soldier serums, those are bad? I know
They
we,
they
we
don't
got we got lucky with
they don't
Captain
quite work
America,
right.
but but everyone
So
else,
they got some problems. Yeah, that they have issues. So
yeah, because the
I
kids are
think
only
it's kind of
aging
good to shelve it.
the kids are only aging like a month for every 100 years.
Yes. And so essentially it's just like that. As soon as they hit puberty, then boom, they just rapidly age.
Right, exactly. And they get
And
those
so it's
weird, art,
yeah,
fifth grade art class made sores that we all made when we were kids.
yes. They get the sores and then it just spreads all over. They go senile and poof.
And
And then just they're
random Star Trek fact, just throw this out there. Kim Darby, who played Miri, is 76 years old. And this week I have the proud pleasure of telling you she is still alive and has not passed away. Usually I'm following up with like the person in this episode died 32 years ago. Not today. Kim
not
Darby,
today.
still alive. Hey, Kim, what's up?
So just say Kim, that was Kirk was a little across the line on that one. Anyway, so
This begs the
we find out
question about child
mhm,
actors on the set.
yep, yep,
If you've
quiet on
seen
the set, quiet
the
on the set.
Netflix, yep, yep. Mm-hmm.
If you've been seeing quiet on the set, they just anyways,
Mm. Anyway, moving on.
moving on. So we find out that, hey, they're all still trying to find, clues as to what happened. Where are all the adults? Getting more concrete evidence as to support the once they go into puberty, then the accelerated ages will happen. Accelerated aging, oh, will happen, and essentially they will just die of old age. So as time is going on, and the kids, the kids are watching them and paying attention and seeing them all, and so knows that hey, something. Hey, I don't trust them. They're adults. Why are adults here? I don't trust them.
and
And
and we need to steal their little boxes.
we need to steal their boxes. We need to do this. We need to because no, we don't like adults. We don't trust adults.
Grups,
We do
steal
not
the
trust.
boxes.
Yeah, so take the
Which
boxes and
for
hide the
you
boxes, and
layman's out
then
there, that's their communicators. They don't want Kirk and company. They don't want the grups
they
calling
don't
more
want the
grups.
they don't want the anymore. No more Starfleet. So as they're going through and hiding
This is the
everything, and
problematic.
then
This is the
oh, it's
problematic
absolutely problematic because
part of the episode.
problematic
Like
Kirk.
if you're over 15, we don't want you.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's the
oh,
problem.
whoa.
That's the problem, Kirk. Yes, and
Sounds like
oh boy,
sounds like every faceless white supremacist on TikTok right now. But anyway,
and moving on.
moving on.
And so as they're trying to hide, and all the crew is just falling, boom, 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 to this hole disease that's going on. And we see Yeoman Rand. She catches it. And then now Kirk is he's a extra motivated now. He's already been motivated. Now he's a little bit extra more motivated. If that's even a phrase, like he
This is the questionable motivation that we were alluding to at the beginning of the show, ladies and gentlemen, and all you in
yes.
between. Um, Kirk is a little too motivated by Miri, who we have generously
Very, very
named as
motivated.
being 15 years old.
That's very generous. And so Kirk decides that, of course, when Yeoman Rand is out and about trying to, process everything that's happening, that's to her. And so, hey, get it, totally understand. You
Yeah,
need time to process. She gets kidnapped.
of
And
course she
so now,
does.
well, of course, because
We have to put
it's
Kirk in
Yeoman
a
Rand.
dilemma. We have to put Kirk in a
Of
dilemma.
course. It wouldn't be Star Trek if it wouldn't.
I mean, yesterday or last week, however you want to look at it, he was making out with robots. Why not kids? And why not
Man,
Yeoman Rand? And why not anyone else? Because
yeah, so
Kirk just
he's
has
motivated by
zero.
Yeoman Rand to
He has zero of these to give.
he has zero Fs. Like all the Fs that he had, he transported down without them. That's where they're back on the Enterprise. So Yeoman Rand gets kidnapped, and Kirk goes out trying to find her. Oh, and he needs to turn on the Kirk charm with Miri, so she can give up the deets. And
Dude,
Kirk gets a little bit
I have to linger on this for a minute. I have to linger on this for a minute. His fascination with her is creepy.
very
It's
yes,
very creepy.
very.
I mean, I can
I
understand
mean,
a young girl having a crush or a fascination on an older person. That is not
mhm,
uncommon, but it is
yeah,
the responsibility of the older person to set the boundary. And I
yes.
don't know that I feel like he set the proper boundary in this episode.
I
Maybe
it doesn't sound
some.
like it's questionable with the boundary if
I
he
mean, he
said
didn't.
because I get his whole I suspect I could understand the curiosity aspect of as to how long they've been living like this for over 300 years, and I get wanting to kind of know more about that as
Right,
far as like a needing info for research or for what Bones needs in order to make an antidote or whatnot. I get that.
correct, correct.
Um,
Hmm.
Past that, and you decide you want to try a little bit more intimate and
It
romantic,
just
romance approach to her. Um, that's kind of crossing the line for me. I mean, I get
this is
she's over
just get
300 years old.
this is just giving me Among Us vibes. I mean, something is
Yeah,
sus. Something is sus.
exactly. Yeah. And so I understand the whole technicality. She's over 300 years old. Okay.
Not mentally.
But here's my point. In here, she's still 15, even though the rest of
Mm,
her is 315.
right. Correct. And
And that
that's
is a
weird.
problem.
And
That's
I wanted to make sure that we covered that because it's weird. It's
mhm.
weird. It's very weird.
Yeah. And especially since if the disease they get infected when they hit puberty and she's still there, doesn't sound like it's not a good look, Kirk.
No,
It's not a good look.
not at all.
Not a good look. Oh, so yeah, and Kirk, yeah, uses his Kirk charms and gets the information from Miri and goes to confront the rest of the kids to rescue Yeoman Rand. Gets into Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes.
That's Captain Kirk. That's Captain Kirk.
That is Captain Kirk. Yes. Yes.
Anyway,
Uh
continue, please.
yes. And so Kirk, in natural Kirk fashion, gets into a fight with a bunch of kids. He gets into a fight with a
he
grown
he's
30
not
something
only
man.
having an inappropriate
Inappropriate relationship.
with one. Now he's like, I'm just going to fight the rest of them. I
Yeah.
like this one.
Definitely not a good
I'm gonna beat up
not
the
not
rest of them. Like,
not a good look.
oh
Not
my
a good look.
god! Like you sound like every abusive father from the 1940s.
It undertone on the show may be that this may be that, and it is not okay.
And to be clear, this is something that Gilbert and I have talked about multiple times on this show since we started it, every episode, that despite the fact that in this era these themes were more acceptable on TV, um, the original series Star Trek does have very problematic occurrences with misogyny.
Yes.
Today's, I won't say the P word, but it that word, there are problematic themes that come up despite being such a progressive show for its time. Still, because of the era in which it was made, we're going to see some things that might have been acceptable 50, 60 years ago. Not so much
That's
today.
yeah. So if you're like doing like us and kind of watching through it again with just don't keep those rose colored glasses on. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And even Kirk can't keep
Because,
his rose colored glasses on because by what, a few days in, they're all starting to get really, really agitated. Like they're all wasting
yeah,
away.
they're wasting away because now getting in the brain. And I can see it, and it's how they were acting was sort of like akin to like an aspect of dementia or Alzheimer's, in
Like
which it was
the fix it guy at the beginning of the
yes,
episode. Fix
yeah,
it,
just
fix
kind of
it.
fix
Oh,
it.
have a seizure and die. Like,
Right. And then not being able to, have that full speech pattern, full range of thoughts, or being able to actually coherently make a sentence other than to, fix it, fix it, fix it.
right, right, exactly,
And
exactly.
then
So,
and you kind of see that as well with Bones and Kirk just kind of this anybody saying the slightest thing to them and they just biting their head off for nothing. And I've only seen that just with my mom because she has dementia, and every now and again it used to happen, not so much now, but that's a whole part of the thing is the old age, and when it affects you like that, it can
sure.
affect your mind like that, and it can do that. So this one is almost guaranteed it's going to give you dementia, it's going to give you that Alzheimer's or whatever. And
Those are very important things to say
yeah,
because I mean, my parents are both still around. They don't have dementia, but I mean, I can clearly see a difference. And I know, Dad, I know you listen. I know you're listening, but no offense to you.
yeah,
But I see
it's
a
like you
difference
know,
between that in your face, direct, strict, driven person that you were 40 years ago versus kind of laid back, kind of person that you are now.
yeah,
Things change as you get older, and that's just how it happens.
yeah.
So,
So you can definitely see that. And it's affecting their age, and they're getting older and older and older.
and that's what's interesting about
Hmm.
this is this episode. For all of our other episodes, we can go an hour, hour and a half talking about the whole plot line of the show. We're really This one is very basic because we're already
Yeah.
to the point where like McCoy comes up with a cure, but he passes out. Everyone
Hmm.
shows up, they get the communicators back, but McCoy is healing
Yeah.
and things are getting better. And like, we get to the point where that conversation with Rand and Kirk about Miri.
Yes. And actually, uh, Rand brings up the viewpoint that we all have, and it's like, Uh, yo, that's kind of crossing a line right there. And
and and
Spock
this
kind
is
of Spock kind of rationalizing that she is over 300. Mm. I wish if you could tell, even though Spock being as logical, trying to be as logical it was, even he knew that this was not some it wasn't right. As much as he could
no
justify it and you could technically justify it, but it's still he know morally he knew it wasn't right.
No, it obviously wasn't. And again, we're talking about, at least at the time of the filming of this episode, in the Star Trek canon universe, Kirk was the youngest captain in Starfleet history. That to me insinuates a level of maturity that was not necessarily expressed to its fullest degree in this episode.
Right.
I understand he
Yeah.
didn't do anything, but he didn't stop anything.
Yeah.
He didn't
So it's
outright
like
say, "Girl, you're 15." Nah. He should have just been like,
so
"Nah." Because I'd be like, "Nah." I'm sorry. 15-year-old comes up to me. Nah. Mm-mm.
yeah,
Nope.
he
Thank
should
you.
have just been like, hey Jim, yeah, have a word with you right over here in the corner for a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And we have to
and
assume that 300 years from now, or 250 years from now, we're past all of the, the 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 struggles with like LGBTQ people. You know what I mean? My community all the time is accused of being groomers, but here I'm the one like, no, no. But Kirk is like,
Kirk is like, actively going out and like, hey, hey girl. And it's like, no, no, no,
again,
no,
Bill,
no.
you are a curmudgeon in your old age, but you're still a national treasure. Nothing against you. You just, it was in the script. It was in the script. All
But
right, it was in the
I get
script.
it. I understand. It was in the script. It was still creepy, but I get it. It was still in the script. It doesn't make it any less creepy. Still in the script. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Bill. At this point,
Why?
10 episodes in, you dropped trowel last episode. All right, Bill, you dropped trowel. You should have been like, hey, I dropped trowel. I should have a say, and I don't think this is cool. Just me. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah. Like, like you couldn't have made Miri like the one adult that survived,
Even
but like
on the
that,
verge, she could be like, just
yeah,
shift, like
or
at least
right, but
physically
no.
18, 19, 20, 35. That'd be
I
fine.
mean, and I mean,
I'm 50. Anyone
like
under
again,
35 is a
I'm
kid.
just
All
saying.
right.
All I'm saying is that they couldn't have one adult, and that'd be Miri, just the one that survived, the one that is the carrier of this whole disease, and it'd be the one adult. That would be a little bit better
But
because
it does bring up a
she's
good
in
point.
she'd be an adult.
But this does bring up a point, something I thought about while watching this episode and also last week's episode, because I thought, for all of, Ruck and the androids and all that stuff, for the previous episode. Um, and despite the fact that we're going to get some fun, kind of lighthearted episodes coming up, Star Trek was really
Yeah.
starting to find its footing at this point and really delve
Hmm.
into some serious topics.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
they
Because
were
you kind
kind of
of
sci-fi and flighty in the first few episodes, and yeah, they might have been beyond the average viewer, but now we're starting to look at real social
mhm.
issues.
Yeah. As
Young
far as
versus
like,
old, man versus woman, android versus biological. We're seeing all of these things kind of come into it, and we haven't even got to the nitty-gritty yet.
no, because I think at this point they're just kind of dipping their toe in, so to speak. It's kind of testing the water, see how it is, making sure the people how they will respond to just this scratching the surface of these
Hmm.
deeper topics. If
And,
the audience will accept it, then hey, we can dive in deeper. But
and I want to throw this out there. I know that this is something we're going to be doing in the future anyway, as far as reviews go. But um, when I'm doing like my artwork and I'm painting and stuff or building models, whatever, I'm watching Netflix or Paramount in the background, whatever. I've been kind of going through the Star Trek animated series. There's some pretty deep themes in that show
yeah,
for a cartoon that's only 30-minute episodes. It's if you're not looking at it and you don't see the animations and you hear the voices of all the normal actors doing their characters, it could have been a Star Trek episode that you just never saw.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like I'm
And,
actually enjoying the heck out of Star Trek the animated series right now. I'm really enjoying it. Can't wait to
and
get
to
to it.
me, it was always one of those more underrated kind of media because it
Oh
was
yeah,
cartoon, and so at the
people
time
they
when
blow
it
it
came
off.
out
It's
during
a
the
cartoon.
80s, yeah, they blew up as it's cartoon and it's for kids. Yeah, that's not for me. That's for kids.
Yeah.
And I
You
get
ever
their
seen
whole
you ever
apprehension
seen
about it, but
you ever seen any anime, Ninja Scroll, or anything like that? Cartoons ain't just for kids, kiddos.
exactly. And so from that until now, Prodigy and Lower Decks,
Lower Decks.
yeah, animated
I'm
ones are they're coming into their own right, and they're coming into their own their own thing now because Prodigy is just an amazing show.
Okay. I mean,
I
I've
mean,
started watching
it's
Lower Decks. I haven't started watching Prodigy yet, but I've got a friend on TikTok who's
mhm,
trying to they're raising a petition because Lower Decks is ending
yeah,
with the next season.
and the
They're trying to save it. So
yeah, yeah,
maybe
I like it.
we'll promote them next week.
Yeah, I like Lower Decks. I do because it's a nice break, to kind of see what the funny side of Star Trek could be, and it kind of
And
explores
and
into that.
Jonathan Frakes has been on that show.
Yeah, and not only that, I think he's directed a couple episodes as well.
Well,
So
Jonathan
but I mean, I
Frakes,
know
in my
he's
opinion, is as synonymous with Star Trek as Leonard Nimoy is at this point. He played a major
oh yeah,
character. He's directed and written several episodes and movies.
mhm.
Um,
So
one of my favorite
he is Star Trek.
on camera and off camera personalities. I love Jonathan Frakes. If I could
Oh
meet him
yeah,
one day, that would be great. I love him. He's great. Long live Riker. Long live Riker.
yeah. Jonathan Frakes, man, he is amazing,
Nice. Fantastic. Fantastic.
and
As long as he's got a
the
beard.
lower
He's got to
decks.
have the beard.
Oh yeah, oh got to have the beard,
No
got to
beard,
have the beard.
Riker. Sorry.
Said,
Sorry, John. Sorry, John, if you're watching. No, no
it's
beard,
like
Riker.
it's like I'll watch it, but I won't like it. I watch it, but I won't like it. And even though the episode, it could be a great episode, and I'll acknowledge that it's a great episode, but I'll say without the beard, I don't like it.
Yeah, good. It just.
It's just
Well, we talked about
I
that
can't do
before.
it.
There's that
I
episode
can't watch it with
where
him
like
without the beard. I can't watch it.
there's that episode where one of the episodes where Geordi's growing a beard, and you've got Crusher,
Hmm.
Worf, Geordi,
Hmm.
and Riker playing poker, and they're talking
Yep.
about beards, and she's trying to like bet them like if I win you'll shave all your beards, and if she loses she'll be a brunette, and something comes up inevitably, and that never happens, but it's just like, Riker makes this whole speech like, a beard, men have been wearing beards for thousands of years as an air of distinction, blah blah blah. I'm with you. So fellas, if you're watching, beards.
Yeah, but
Baby faces went out with the 90s, just saying.
not just like any kind of beard, just not scraggly. Just keep it trimmed, keep it nice. Keep it crispy. You want to make it.
Maintain,
Yeah.
maintain. It can be big and bushy. It can be
Yeah.
short and trimmed. Just maintain. Just maintain.
Yes. Make it look pretty,
Right.
as they say here in the South. Make it look pretty.
Make it look pretty. And then y'all can come back if you want to.
I'll come back if you want to.
If y'all to. Y'all mean. Sorry, I come from a long, proud line of rednecks. I know all the lingo. But
But oh god, yeah, Kirk, he in this episode, whew, it was it was tough to watch. It was tough to
which
watch,
is
kind of.
interesting because at the end, when he's having this conversation, when Kirk is having this conversation with Rand, he's saying, I make it a point to never get involved with older woman, older women.
Hmm.
And
As
it's
a like
like,
sort of trying
is
to make
she
a joke, trying to make
is
a joke
she
about because she's over 300.
is she 300 or is she 15? I'm going with 15. That's just my her maturity
Yeah,
level was not someone who's lived for 300 years.
exactly. Yeah. So my thing is maturity, she's 15. She technically may have been alive for over 300 years. That's one thing. She has not hit maturity. She's not hit puberty. So she's still a kid. She's a 300-year-old kid, but she's still a kid.
Right. And I've made this distinction in conversations with other people before. I say it all the time. I'm 50 years old. But the point of me saying that now is that the way I think now, going into my 50s, is different than my thought processes when I was in my 40s versus what they were in their
Mhm.
30s versus in their 20s
Yeah,
and
same.
teens and what have you. So just in
Yeah.
decades, my thought processes change over and over and over again. I don't believe that Miri was acting like somebody who had existed for 300 years. Maturity would be so much different. So maybe this
Mm-mm.
disease stunted that maturity. I don't know. But obviously, if you're the strategist and intelligent person and the competent captain we know you to be, you should look at her and think she is not beyond my maturity level. She's not
Mm.
up to my maturity level. And I should not
Yes.
engage with this in that way.
Right.
That's how I see it.
And that's and again that should be his responsibility as a captain, as a an authority figure, as a leader. And
Someone responsible for 300 and some people.
yes, you
He can
know,
love the ship all he wants, but I mean, there are 300 plus personnel on that ship that he's responsible for.
exactly, yeah.
Every death he
And
has to write a report. Every death he has to answer for. Every injury, every disciplinary action, he has to answer for that.
yeah, so it's it's like this for me. You don't have to kind of woo her in order to get information. You could just simply flat out, hey, talk to her. Keep talking to her.
Exert
Eventually,
your
you'll get through if you present something that is absolutely logical to her.
exactly. Be
Then
direct, be logical,
yes,
be respectful, and you can get the information that you need. You don't have to um you don't have to manipulate her
right.
to get what you
Just
need.
yeah, you just flat out say, hey, Mary, we need to know blah 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 blah. Naturally, she's going to be like, no, I can't tell you. No, I don't want to tell you. I don't know. No.
And at the end
Then
of the
you
day,
get
Kirk does what he always does. He washes his hands of the situation. He leaves a group of doctors to hang out and take care of the kids. He's like, you good?
so
You
you good, you
babysitter's
good,
paid?
you good. Yeah,
I gotta
all right,
go. I gotta get.
I'm out.
I'm out. Please.
And so,
I
oh,
hope that this
gosh.
podcast does not make me despise Kirk by the time it's done. Because he still is still one of my favorite captains. I mean, Picard
So
might
no,
edge
I
him
do
out,
like,
but
yes, I like
Cisco,
Kirk.
well, Cisco edges him out, all out, but
Well, yeah,
that's
yeah, that's yeah.
he's a station commander. I don't even compare him. One, I guess he had his own ship, but he's a station commander. He like, you got a
Well, see,
ship, that's funny. I got a whole battle station and a ship. So whatever.
the, oh, he had a ship, and he's like, oh, huh, I had one of those. Huh, huh, huh.
Right, right. Janeway's like, I've got a ship, but I'm lost.
And, and Cisco's just like, oh, that's cute.
That's
I have
cute.
many. I have so many ships. It's not even funny.
I have all the ships. In fact, I got a whole planet right over here with an armada of ships of their own. So we're good to go. We're good to
It's
go.
like so what kind do you need? You need a big one, a small one, Federation, Bajoran, Cardassian. I
Right.
got all kinds.
But yeah, if we ever get anyone who may or may not be involved in the production of special effects on Star Trek, I really want to know some of
George,
the insight
help us out, George.
into the insight of how they did a lot of these special effects in the past. The whether it be the green and blue oozing sores and stuff like that. Even some of the superimposements, I think, were ahead of their time for the time period. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
Enterprise was still a model, a stationary model that they moved a camera around and then they put a superimposed
Hmm.
background behind it based on what I've read. I'd love to get some insight into that kind of thing. I tried to do it once with a video camera in 1993 with the previous model of the Enterprise I built. Uh, it didn't work. It looked like crap. It looked like some dummy filming the model of the Enterprise in a cardboard box with a VHS recorder because that's exactly what was happening. But I tried. I
Well, see,
tried.
at the time,
It's the
the
thought that
equipment in order
matters.
to do that, the equipment in order to just to superimpose an image as a background was insanely expensive.
Oh yeah, it took 742 people, three different studios, probably 47 cameras, and nowadays we do it with oh, I don't want to
So
pay
now you do it with
290.
the phone.
I don't want to pay 299 a year for that app. Well, that's how you do it though. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. They spent like 4 million on it in 1967.
Yeah. Now you can just
We're
do it on your
complaining about
phone.
299.
Yeah,
Right,
now you can
exactly.
do it on your phone. It's just thanks, Star Trek.
I've done some
Without
pretty
you,
fun stuff on my phone too. Had some fun
well,
special effects stuff.
I'll say Star Trek has been the reason why a lot of the advancements that we've gotten today is because of Star Trek. Well,
Oh yeah,
that NASA, Star Trek and NASA.
absolutely. Pads and flip phones and 3.5-inch floppy disks and internet and you name it. I mean, all of it's come
It's
from some kind of inspiration.
yeah.
Now, if we can just get 450-foot long swan shaped spaceships to fly through space at the speed of light and beyond, I'm good to go. Oh,
So
and
so we
and and
will
and human conscience and robot bodies.
yes. Then we'll be in the future, and then we'll be in the future.
Where are
Everything
my
we yes.
where are my flying cars?
Then where's my robot body? Science. I need my robot body.
I need my robot body. I do need my robot body. That is definitely
Like I mean, I can make it myself. I can make my body. I make resin mold, and I could just use a smelter, melt down some metal, and just pour it into and just make myself like an adamantium skeleton with like
right.
steel skin. I could be I'd be the first real life Cylon, like
Oh
a
yeah.
skin Cylon, first
Yeah.
a skin job.
Skin job. That's what they call them. Skin jobs. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, be the first skin job. George, help us out. George, George,
George.
George.
All right. Where are we at next week? I'm checking
See, next week
episodes.
what are we talking about next week? Which one is it next week? And I could tell you just a sec as soon as I get onto IMDb
Dagger
because
of the Mind.
dagger of
Dagger
the
of
mind.
Dagger of the Mind. This is going to be a brain. This is going to be a brain twister, brain teaser, a
Oh
mind bender
yes.
episode. This is a good one. It's a good one. And another one of my favorites will follow after that. The Corbinite maneuver in 2 weeks is a
Ooh.
great episode. I love that one.
Yes, I do remember the Corbin maneuver. That was a pretty good one. So I'm definitely looking
Another
forward to that one.
definitely some Kirk strategy going on in that one. But Dagger of the Mind, it's a mind bender. Um, it's one of those trippy episodes between that the empath, Spectre of the
Mhm.
gun. We get some mind benders coming up, so I can't wait to see that. When do we get to do Spectre of the Gun? I don't think that's this season. Oh, after the Corbinite maneuver. I don't know. Let's talk about this real quick. After the Corbinite maneuver in 2 weeks, we get the Menagerie parts 1 and 2. Do you want to do that two separate
Ooh.
episodes, or you want to do a big just 2 episode
Let's just do
one show?
one big show,
Okay,
and and just handle both on both parts
sounds
because
good.
it's a two-parter episode, and so we get the
And
return of
very
Pike.
very important to Star Trek lore. Very
Yes,
much part of the lore and the history and stuff like that, the canon. So, because we're bringing back
yeah,
Pike,
and
who
even
only got his one pilot, and then we got the first pilot.
yeah, and so even in Strange New Worlds, they touch back on Pike and
Yep,
how he's going to end up with those aliens. And
right.
so kind of
The Telosians,
the
the
Telosians, yes.
pulsating brain people. Oh, we got some great
Oh
episodes coming
yes.
up this season, though.
So
I mean,
yeah.
after the Menagerie, we got Balance of Terror. That's the Romulan episode. We get Shore Leave, the Galileo 7. Great, fantastic episode. Can't wait to get that one. Squire of Gothos. More Q theories.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
Arena.
So
We've got some great ones coming up in season one. I mean, how many episodes are there? We got almost 29 episodes in season one. So got
yeah.
some good stuff coming up. Can't wait. Next
Oh
few
yeah,
weeks are going to be
absolutely.
great. Anybody who's tuning in, thank you. We appreciate it. I mean, we're just two nerds talking about Star Trek, cosplaying captain and first officer of a fictional starship, doing mission briefings / episodes, recaps of all Star Trek episodes, starting with TOS in order of production, including animated and side series. We will get there. We have content for years. As long as nobody offs us in our sleep and the ninjas stay in their white van, we're good to go. Any final thoughts, Commander Gilbert?
Stay away from Ivy monsters. Keep your triple spade and neutered. Everyone, live long and prosper.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Live long and prosper. Dismissed.